Very good afternoon. This is the midday news on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Ashwarya with you. Let us start the news bulletin with the top headlines. Union ministers to visit Jammu and Kashmir from today. Prime Minister Modi tells them to focus on rural areas in spreading awareness about government policies. Assam Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal expands cabinet, inducts two new faces, Jogan Mohan and Sanjay Kishan sworn in as MOS with independent charge. Rallies across the country in support of Citizenship Amendment Act. Home Minister Amit Shah to address public meeting in Karnataka today. Global alert as deadly novel virus spreads in China. New Delhi issues travel advisory for citizens visiting China. Thermal scanners deployed at the airports. And Sania Mirza script's remarkable comeback, returns to professional tennis after a 2-year break, winning Hobart International title. Several union ministers will be visiting Jammu and Kashmir beginning today. The ministers will visit 60 different locations on different days in both the divisions of Jammu and Kashmir till the 24th of this month. Now, there will be 51 visits to Jammu and 8 to Srinagar, and Home Ministry is coordinating the visit. The objective of the visit is to spread information about the importance of the centre's policies for the overall development of the union territories and its people, along with the steps taken by the government. Union Minister Smriti Irani will visit Katra and Panthal areas of Riyasi districts on 19th of January, that is tomorrow, while on the same day, Union Minister Piyush Goyal will be in Srinagar. Whereas Minister of State for Home G. Kishan Reddy will be in Ganderbal on 22nd of January and Manigam on 23rd of January. Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad will visit Sopore in Baramulla district on 24th of January. Besides them, Union Ministers Anurag Singh Thakur, Kiran Rijiju, V.K. Singh, Giriraj Singh, Prahlad Joshi, Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank, R.K. Singh, Shripad Yesu Naik and Jitendra Singh are among the other ministers who will visit different districts during this period.
उसी के कार्यक्रम के लिए जा रहे मंत्री जी। अभी तक बर्फ था बहुत ज़्यादा, इसलिए अभी तक 2 महीने में नहीं गए थे। जैसे मेरे विभाग में कारगिल और लद्दाख का रेडियो का केंद्र तैयार है, मैं जाऊंगा तो उसका उद्घाटन करूंगा। तो इस तरह से काम हो रहा है।
According to sources, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had told the group of union ministers visiting Jammu and Kashmir to spread the message of development among the people, not only in the urban areas, but also in the villages of the valley. And in more news related to Jammu and Kashmir, a concession agreement for completing the 6.5 kilometer long Z-More tunnel in Jammu and Kashmir was signed in New Delhi on Friday. And under the agreement, the 2-lane bi-directional tunnel with the parallel escape tunnel will be completed in 3.5 years at a cost of 2,379 crore rupees. Now, the project includes construction, operation and the maintenance of the tunnel with approaches on NH1 at Srinagar Sonmarg Gumri Road. Z-More tunnel will provide all-weather road connectivity to Sonmarg, a tourist spot in Jammu and Kashmir. It remains usually closed during the winters due to heavy snowfall in the area. Now, the pact between NHIDCL and APCO Amarnathji Tunnelway was signed in the presence of Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Nadkarni. Assam Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal expanded his ministry today with the induction of 2 ministers of state with independent charge. Sanjay Kishan and Jogan Mohan were administered the oath of office and secrecy by Governor Jagdish Mukhi at a ceremony in the Darbar Hall of the Raj Bhavan in Guwahati. Both Kishan and Mohan are the first-time BJP MLAs and they represent Tinsukia and Mahamora Assembly constituencies respectively. And with this, the strength of the Sonowal ministry has now increased to 18 along with the Chief Minister, with the 12 from the BJP and 3 each from the alliance partners Assam Gan Parishad and Bodo People's Front. The portfolios of the new ministers are yet to be announced. On to some other news now. European Union High Representative Joseph Borrell on Friday called on Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and during the interaction, the Prime Minister said that India and EU were natural partners and he was looking forward to a productive India-EU summit in March 2020. A statement from the PMO said that Prime Minister Modi reiterated India's commitment to deepen the engagement with the EU, particularly in the fields of climate change and trade and economic relations. The Prime Minister also recalled his earlier interactions with the leadership of European Commission and European Council. And on to the other big story that we are tracking this afternoon. The government has issued an advisory for the Indians that are traveling from China, especially from Wuhan, following the outbreak of a new virus that has claimed the lives of 2 persons and has infected dozens of others in China. The Union Health Ministry has instructed a screening of travelers from the neighboring country at Delhi, Mumbai and Kolkata airports using thermal scanners. More than 500 Indian students, remember, study in Wuhan, mostly in medical universities in and around the city. The government has issued a travel advisory asking citizens travelling to and from China to follow certain precautionary measures. It stated that as on 11th of January, as many as 41 confirmed cases of the infection by a novel virus has been reported in China. Meanwhile, in a related news, the number of people infected by the mystery SARS-like virus that has killed 2 people in China is likely to be hundreds more than officially reported. Researchers have said this. Now, this as Chinese health authorities said on Saturday that they had discovered 4 more cases of the outbreak that is believed to be a new coronavirus strain. Now, there have been 45 laboratory confirmed cases of the new virus, and 3 cases have also been detected abroad, 2 in Thailand and 1 in Japan. 2 people are known to have died from the virus as well. And apart from India, Singapore and Hong Kong have been screening air passengers from Wuhan, and US authorities also announced similar measures starting on Friday at 3 major airports in San Francisco, Los Angeles and in New York. And back home, Home Minister Amit Shah will address a public meeting in Karnataka today as part of the BJP's outreach program on Citizenship Amendment Act. Amit Shah, who has arrived in Bengaluru, will visit Hubli, where he will address a rally on CAA at Nehru Maidan. Union Minister Prahlad Joshi said that he is expecting a gathering of about 1 lakh people during the rally, and Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa will also be reportedly present during the rally. And now an update on the Delhi Assembly elections. The BJP on Friday released a list of 57 candidates for the upcoming Delhi Assembly elections. This is BJP's first list of the candidates, and the party has fielded sitting MLA Vijender Gupta and former mayors Ravinder Gupta and Yogendra Chandolia along with the former AAP MLA Kapil Mishra. The BJP, however, did not name its candidate against AAP leader and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal in the first list.
पूर्ण विश्वास के साथ ये विजेताओं की टीम है और हम पूर्ण बहुमत से ये 2020 का विधानसभा जीतने की तरफ अग्रसर हैं। हम बहुत पॉजिटिव एजेंडा पे आगे बढ़ रहे हैं और केंद्र सरकार के द्वारा किए गए कार्यों को दिल्ली के हर घर तक पहुंचाकर हम अपना परिचय देंगे और दिल्ली में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बनेगी।
More news on Delhi elections. A total of 48 fresh nominations were filed on Friday by 36 candidates belonging to the Aam Aadmi Party, Janata Dal United and BSP, among others. Senior AAP leader Atishi and several other members of the party filed their nominations ahead of the 8th of February Assembly elections. The last date for filing of nomination is 21st of January and scrutiny of nominations will happen on 22nd of January and the last date for the withdrawal of candidature is 24th of January. The counting of votes will take place on 11th of February. And the nominations for the election to the post of BJP National President will be filed on 20th of January. The BJP announced on Friday that polling, if required, will take place on 21st of January. Senior BJP leader Radha Mohan Singh, who is in charge of the organizational election process, announced the schedule after the party's internal poll exercise was completed in 21 of the BJP's 36 state and union territory units. In midday news, time for a very short break. We'll be right back with more news. Don't go anywhere.
On today's date, the science and technology budget is of the order of about 0.6 to 0.7% of our GDP, and therefore the scientists in the country would desire that there is a significant enhancement in the budget of science and technology. We would like to convince the public that by spending money on science and technology eventually helps the society in a very large way, and all the benefits of science and technology eventually reach the people, and that's the only way that a nation can actually progress, and therefore we desire that this budget should be enhanced significantly.
भारतीय अर्थव्यवस्था में खपत बढ़ाने के लिए वित्त मंत्री के सामने क्या हैं चुनौतियां? देखिए मेरे साथ अर्थनीति में शनिवार शाम 7:30 बजे सिर्फ राज्यसभा टीवी पर।
તારી નદીયું પાછી વાળજે, તારી વીજળી ભૂસી નાખજે, તારા પગના ઝાંઝર રોકજે. સપના વિનાની આખી રાત, સપના વિનાની આખી રાત. हिलारो पहली फिल्म है जिसे ये बेस्ट फीचर फिल्म का नेशनल अवार्ड मिल रहा है. हिलारो पहली ऐसी फिल्म है जिसमें एक्टिंग करने के लिए किसी गुजराती एक्ट्रेस को गुजराती फिल्म के लिए नेशनल अवार्ड मिल रहा है. तो सब जगह पे गुजराती सिनेमा की बात हिलारो से हो रही है. तो मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि यहाँ से एक नई शुरुआत होगी. नमस्कार, मेरा नाम है अभिषेक शाह. मुझसे मिलिए प्रोग्राम गुफ्तगू में,
सिर्फ राज्यसभा टीवी पर.
Welcome back after the break. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu today visited the Ramakrishna Mission at Port Blair in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and in an interaction with the monks, he said that he was greatly impressed by the service being rendered by the mission for the spiritual, social, economic and educational upliftment of the people. Vice President Naidu also appreciated several initiatives taken by the mission to impart education, including free coaching for poor students. He further stated that the teachings and preachings of Swami Vivekananda were relevant forever. And earlier, Vice President Naidu inaugurated the Nature Park and Interpretation Center in Port Blair in the picturesque Andaman and Nicobar Islands on Friday. During his visit, he released butterflies and also went around the butterfly conservatory at the park. Here are all the details.
The Andaman and Nicobar Islands have around 300 butterfly species, 207 are endemic to the region. Inaugurated by the Vice President, the Walk-in Butterfly Conservatory, in addition to being a place for recreation, provides an understanding of the biotic and abiotic factors that play a role in the life cycle of a butterfly.
It is interesting to note that more than 300 species of butterflies are found in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, of which 207 species are endemic to these islands. The Walk-in Butterfly Conservatory in the National Interpretation Center could not just increase the joy of visitors, but also create greater awareness among public about the ecological importance and the life cycle of these beautiful insects.
The Vice President also visited the orchid and fern house at the nature park that showcases the habitat of the tropical orchids. He also appreciated the wooden sculpture of a mother and child made out of the trunk of a single paduk tree. The sculpture represents nature as a mother who lovingly nurtures all her creations. The Nicobar Islands feature among the biodiversity hotspots of the world. These islands were declared as the World Biosphere Reserve in 2013 by the United Nations. The Vice President praised the Andaman administration for taking steps for conservation, like imposing a complete ban of single-use plastics, installing water ATMs in important tourist destinations, and replacing all conventional street lights with LED lamps.
Andaman Nicobar Islands feature among the biodiversity hotspots of the world. They harbor rich terrestrial as well as marine ecosystems, including mangroves, seagrass beds, and coral reefs. This natural beauty makes Andaman Nicobar Island a very popular tourist destination. But we must ensure that the influx of tourists does not endanger the fragile ecosystem and rare flora and fauna of the region. Towards this end, I am happy to have inaugurated today the Nature Park Interpretation Center in Port Blair today. This will serve as an important center for recreation and education, showcasing the richness of biodiversity of these islands. The Nature Park and Interpretation Center is displaying native trees, palms, orchids, ferns, medicinal plants, aquatic plants, and butterflies for the benefit of visitors.
The Vice President also emphasized the need to observe the flora and fauna in their natural environment and cause as little disruption as possible. He hoped that through its dedicated conservation initiatives, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands will serve as a model for sustainable tourism for the rest of the nation in the time to come. Rajkamal Rao's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
9 candidates have scored a perfect 100 in the joint entrance examination mains. The result of JEE Mains were announced on Friday by the HRD Ministry's National Testing Agency. The toppers for the engineering entrance exam include Delhi boy Nishant Agarwal, and others are from Gujarat, Haryana, Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan and Telangana. A total of 8.69 lakh students had appeared for the exam that was conducted in 6 shifts from 7th to 9th of January, while JEE Mains is conducted for examination to engineering colleges across the country. Atop international focus now, heavy rains and thunderstorms have lashed parts of Australia's east coast, dousing some of the fires but bringing a new threat of flooding to some areas. There have been downpours in the states of Victoria, New South Wales and Queensland, which have all been badly hit by the bushfire crisis. Major roads were closed in Queensland and power cuts were reported in parts of New South Wales as a result of the weather. But fire officials said that the rain was helping to tackle some of the blazes. Remember, fires have been raging in Australia since September, killing at least 28 people and destroying thousands of homes and scorching millions of acres of land. And now our special segment on environment and climate change. A report of the World Economic Forum says that the top 5 long-term risks facing the world are related to the environment. These risks include failure of climate change mitigation and adaptation, weapons of mass destruction, water crises, major biodiversity loss, man-made environmental crises, and extreme weather events like floods, storms, among others. It is the only time in the survey's 14-year history that climate-related concerns took all the top spots. The report also says that the results of climate inaction are becoming increasingly clear worldwide. The accelerating pace of biodiversity loss is a particular concern. Sports news now. In a stunning comeback after a 2-year-long maternity break from the world of tennis, Sania Mirza won the WTA Hobart International doubles title along with her partner Nadia Kichenok today. The unseeded Indo-Ukrainian pair pipped the second-seed Chinese team 6-4, 6-4 in 1 hour and 21 minutes. Now, this is Sania Mirza's 42nd WTA doubles title and first since Brisbane International Trophy that she had won in 2007 with American partner Bethany Mattek-Sands. In more sports news, wrestler Vinesh Phogat won her first gold medal at a Rome Ranking Series event on Friday. Vinesh downed 2 tough Chinese rivals on her way to the 53-kilogram gold medal bout, in which she overpowered Ecuador's Luisa Elizabeth Valverde 4-0. Meanwhile, teen sensation Anshu Malik settled for a silver medal in the 57-kilogram category. More news from the world of cricket now. India defeated Australia by 36 runs in the second one-day international match series at Rajkot on Friday. And with the win, India has now levelled the 3-match series 1-all after losing the first game by 10 wickets in Mumbai. Chasing a target of 341 runs, Indian bowlers dismantled the Australian batting unit and bundled out the visitors at 304. KL Rahul was declared the player of the match. For India, Mohammad Shami was the most successful bowler with the figures of 3-77, while Kuldeep Yadav, Ravindra Jadeja and Navdeep Saini took 2 wickets apiece. The third and the final one-day international will now be played in Bengaluru on Sunday. Former Indian all-rounder Bapu Nadkarni passed away on Friday. Nadkarni died following old age-related illness. He was 86. He played 41 test matches for India, in which he scored 1,414 runs and grabbed 88 wickets, with the 6-for-43 being his best bowling figures. He was best known for his left-arm spin bowling and ability to get maiden overs at will, including 21 consecutive ones against England in a test match in Chennai. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu paid tributes to Bapu Nadkarni. In a tweet, he said that he is deeply saddened to learn about the demise of Bapu Nadkarni. He added he will be best remembered for bowling 21 consecutive maiden overs against England in a test match in Chennai. And Sachin Tendulkar also offered condolences. He said that he is very sad to hear about the demise of Bapu Nadkarni. And with that, we wrap up this edition of Midday News. But take a look at the weather conditions in the major cities of the country as I take your leave. Thanks so much for watching.